Alright, welcome back to Paradise, and let's continue our adventure Middara Unintentional Malum Act 1, and this is going to be Mission 3. Alright, so just as a recap of the story, after Mission 2, we rested, so basically we did a restore, so all our guys got healed, we got rid of all the tokens, reset the loot deck, we ran into some fellow, I stole some items from him, and then we moved on, and then we finally reached to this new chamber, which is called the Gauntlet, and this is where one of the masked exams is going to be. All right, so we're going to set up the map exactly like this. This one's really similar to the first mission. The goal is to get a character on the exit space at the end. So you can basically gun for it if you really want. Or to score extra points for your grading, you can defeat the enemies. And there's a blue hidden totem over here. So here there's a lot of water, and it's the first time we're going to face off against a water Loa character or enemy. All right, so let's get rid of this gigantic book for now. All right, so zoom in here. Okay, so let's just go over the Water Loa stats and card before we start the whole encounter here. So she's an interesting character. She has to stay in water the whole time, but she has an ability that makes the water grow. So I'm going to go get some water tokens before I forget. All right, her other abilities are Arcane and Elusive. Elusive means that she can't suffer break attacks when leaving adjacent spaces of heroes. Unless we force her to do it with a push or pull type of thing. And Arcane means that she ignores our book, shield, and star symbols when we roll against her. So it's really hard to hit her, and we don't do extra damage because we don't get these symbols. So this is going to be an interesting fight. All right, this is the thing she has to stay in water. This is the growing the water if she gets hit or we hit her with attacks, so on and so on. And let's just go through her flow chart here. Is there somebody in her sphere of influence with an effect? She does something, so her threat range here is 4. This is adjacent heroes. This is another one of her sphere of influence, or threat is 4 as well. And then finally, this one is a range of 12. All right, so this can she move and attack an opponent of range 6? All right, so her movement is 6 plus range 6. That's a long threat range. All right, that's 12. So we're probably gonna try to get in there and fight her as fast as possible because I don't think we can go around. Her threat is way too high. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. Let's put this down. All right, so to start off, let's take all the initiative cards. Let me zoom out just a little bit. Let's give it a good shuffle. I'm gonna cut the deck, shuffle it again. All right, and let's see who's gonna start. So it's gonna be Nightingale, followed by Remy, Zeke, then the water is gonna go, and finally Rook as the last character. So maybe he's gonna heal somebody after they get damaged from the water Loa afterwards. All right, so let's just calculate here. Threat range of 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They can attack us right off the bat. If they were the first character, they would basically move to the edge of the water or around here to be in range of 6 and start shooting at us already. All right, so let's get to it. So Nightingale's gonna go first. All right, so just looking over the strategy of what I might do is I really want these guys to advance a little bit closer to the coast because it's going to take my whole party like 2 or 3 rounds just to walk through this water to even try to get to them if I do a full-on charge. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to pause and do nothing for the first 3, wait till they advance, and then I'm going to charge them and see what I can do. And probably what I'm thinking. So I mean, Nightingale's gonna go. I mean, she can get out from behind and be in the green. Yeah, so let me do that. So she's gonna go 1, 2, 3. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So she's still at distance 8. So where she is here, she's gonna be attacked because she has the lowest of the armor of 8 distance away, both these characters, but that's fine because not only is she in hindered terrain, she has a couple of dodge abilities that I'm going to show you later on. All right, so that's what she's going to do. She's going to use 1 SP to just move there. All right, Remy's going to go next. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, she can fly in the corner, and then these 2 guys will separate. Maybe that's a good plan. So we can have Rook and Remy attack one and have the other 2 attack the other. Sure, let's do that. So she's gonna move at 7. So she's gonna use 1 SP. She's gonna go 1, 2. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and go up here. All right, hopefully that works out. And she's okay. She can fly. She can fly behind them and maybe do some flanking or something. All right, so that was Remy. Then Zeke's gonna go, and Zeke's basically gonna do nothing. He's gonna stay status quo, not a thing. Actually, you know what? Let me use one action point. You know, I'm just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 8 and 8, and this one's 9, so she's gonna go after her no matter what. So you know what? Zeke's okay there. All right, so there you go. So first 3 characters are done. Let's go deal with the Water Loa characters. All right, so we already know they're passive. SOI, adjacent, SOI, no, so they're gonna go straight to the last one. All right, so can it move and attack an opponent within range 6? Definitely yes. Okay, it's a long range. All right, move to be up to range 6 from the nearest opponent, then make a 6 attack against the opponent with the lowest armor value. All right, so let's do this in order. So the nearest opponent for her is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Rook, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Nightingale. All right, so she's definitely gonna attack Nightingale. All right, so to be within 6 of Nightingale, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe go over here. So I need to double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. Has range against Nightingale, so this is going to be the attack. All right, so yeah, so I'm definitely going to dodge that. Okay, so the ability that I want to use is going to be, I can use either one. This gives me a dodge, this gives me a dodge. Doesn't really matter because they're going to get refreshed. This is an exhaust ability. So I'm going to do that to dodge, and dodge gives you a black die during the attack, and you can add the shield to your defense. All right, so they're trying to hit a 10, actually technically an 11 because I'm in hindered terrain. So their attack is 2 purple dice, which is pretty good. Let's give it a good roll. All right, they rolled snake eyes. Look at that, 2 ones. I didn't even need to dodge. That was, I just hit everything on the table. All right, and there you go. So that was their attack. They're done. All right, now the orange guy is going to go next. All right, you got to, actually his base should have been purple. Sorry about that, little slight hiccup. Pretend it's a purple base. I'll probably change it later. All right, so for her, the closest characters are basically all these 3 characters are within range 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8. All right, so the one with the lowest defense is actually going to be Remy because they both have 1 defense. 1 armor each of these 2 characters. So she's gonna go attack Remy. So she's gonna go at range 6, which is 2 spaces closer. So she's gonna go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. You're in range 6, and they're gonna do the exact same roll. All right. So Remy's gonna use the exact same ability that Nightingale used. She's gonna dodge by tapping the exhaust here, which gives her a dodge. And she can counter, but you can't counter from that far. All right, so we're gonna roll the exact same thing. Probably not likely gonna hit since they need a 10. Oh, they got a 10. All right, but I rolled 3 shields, so my defense is actually 13, so they actually miss. All right, so that was the Water Loa's turn. All right, and now it's gonna be Rook's turn. So what does Rook wanna do? I think Rook, right now, since they've attacked, he's gonna run in like crazy. By the way, looking at their card, just FYI, it says when a Waterloo affects an opponent with a spell or hits an opponent with an attack. Now it has to hit the attack, so both those attacks missed. All right, but if they hit us, then we're going to be adding those water tiles on the board. All right, Rook moves at 6 with no bonuses, so he's going to use his SP to run, to get there, to move. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think he's stuck at that point. So let's see, he's going to be in 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's going to be in the sphere of influence of this character, but not that character. And you know what? I think I'm okay with that. I could spend the extra SP to move 1 extra space, but I'm just still not going to be getting any closer. So you know what? I think I'm okay like this. Plus, I did forget to tell you, he did pick up a plank of wood, and this is pretty useful to put in water so that you can get regular terrain and skip the water. But anyway, so that's going to be the round. Pretty fast round. Let's take the cards here. Give it a good shuffle. Let's split the deck in half. All right, and let's do it. First character is going to be Zeke. Next character. It's going to be the Water Loa going next. Oh boy. After that's going to be Remy. After that's going to be Nightingale. And finally, it's going to be Rook going last again. All right, bringing up the rear. All right, so where is Zeke? Zeke's over here. Now, I think what my plan should be is to get maybe Zeke in her sphere of influence and have Rook in her sphere of influence. So at least one of them is attacking one character and one is going to be attacking the other character. All right, so Zeke has a movement of 6. By the way, I refreshed everyone's, unexhausted everyone's stuff and gave everyone their 3 SP. So everyone's going to be at 5 SP starting round 2, which is fantastic. All right, so looking at my general strategy, I want this guy to attack Rook and I want this guy to attack Zeke probably. Now, looking at their actual attack that they're going to perform, all right, is their opponent within their sphere of influence? Yes. They're going to do a spell 6 prioritizing the person with the lowest conviction value, all right, which is good because the conviction value of Zeke is a white die and for Rook it's a purple die. So even if I get Zeke within both their sphere of influence, this one is still going to attack Rook and that's going to work out to my advantage, I think. All right, so let's use a SP point here to move. I'm going to use 1 to move. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, next I'm going to use my diagonal movements, I guess. Yeah, so let me use exhaust. So I'm going to diagonal move twice. So I'm going to go 1, 2, which is good. All right, and now I'm in threat range or melee range. So what I'm going to do is attack her. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is use my blades. All right, blade works. All right, that gives me a free attack. All right, so my attack is 2 whites. And now, should I empower it? The point is there's no point of empowering against these guys because they ignore all the symbols on the dice. All right, so it's really bad. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use 2 white dice. I'm just going to constantly attack with 2 white dice. Now, what value am I trying to hit? What's their defense? Their defense is 9. All right, so, and their health is 12. All right, so let's get to it. So I got to hit a 9. Not too bad, probably 50-50. And I did a 4. That's pretty bad. Yeah, so let's just keep attacking. So I'm gonna spend another 2 to attack again. At this point, if I just keep missing, I'm just gonna end up throwing a ton of knives at these guys just to damage them and kill them. So let me roll over here actually. And this is gonna be a 9, so I hit. But unfortunately, they ignore all these symbols. So guess what? A 9 becomes a 9, so I do 0 damage. Interesting. Let me just keep attacking. So I'm gonna use 2 more, and let me roll again. All right, here goes nothing. Trying to hit at least a 10, I guess, to do damage, and I hit a 9 again. So that's gonna be no damage. Is there a way for me to re-roll this dice? No, I can only re-roll my dodges. So that's going to be it for Zeke. He completely whiffed on 3 attacks. All right, that's going to be a common theme. I think for these guys, I definitely have to use the flanking technique to get that +1. Because if I hit at least a 9, I'll be dealing them at least a damage. All right, so let's go on to the Water Loa card. All right, so let's activate them in order. All right, so first one's going to be the red one. Is there a figure within sphere of influence with an effect? No, nobody has an effect on them. All right, is there more than one opponent adjacent? No. Is there an opponent within her sphere of influence? Yes, there's 2, 1 and 2. So again, as we already know, cast a spell 6 prioritizing the opponent with the lowest conviction and deal magic damage equal to 2 plus the difference rolled on the failed check. This can be huge. This is going to be a lot of damage against us. Okay, so it's going to be a white die. So it's going to be 6 plus this. and Rook's conviction is 2 purples. All right, so we're basically gonna do 6 plus this die minus this plus 2. All right, so let's see what it is. So we're gonna roll. It's gonna be 2. Oh, thankfully, it's very, very low, so it's 8. All right, so let's see if I can roll an 8 on this. Come on, baby. Come on. So she's attacking Rook right now. Come on, baby. And I rolled a 5. All right, so 8 minus 5 is 3 plus 2. It's 5 damage to Rook. That's quite a bit for the first attack of the game. I think he's going to be doing his healing spells quite often this game. All right, so let me give Rook 5 damage. All right, and we're going to do the exact same thing against Zeke. Now, he couldn't block anything with his armor because armor only affects non-magic attacks. All right, so that was her attack. Now she's going to go, and she's going to do the exact same thing. So there's not 2 adjacent, not anyone with an effect. The cast of 6. Lowest conviction, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it's outside of her sphere of influence. The only one in her sphere of influence is him. All right, so it's going to be the exact same thing. Now, Zeke's defense is going to be a purple and a white against her white. So let's do it. Yeah. So let's roll and see what happens. So it's going to be 6 plus 3, which is 9. And I'm trying to get to a 9 for Zeke. Check it out. And I got a 9. Perfect. I blocked it. All right, so 0 damage for Zeke. Good job, Zeke. All right. All right, and there you go. That was both their effects, and they're done. All right, next is going to be Remy. So now what does Remy want to do? I think for all the other characters that are coming down the line, they're just going to run in and try to attack. At this point, probably my best bet. I wish... Actually, man, I wish she was on the other side or he was there so they can do a flanking attack, because from where she is now, it's literally impossible to be a flanking attack. But I think what she's going to do is, let's see if she can make it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ah, she only has a movement of 7. So she's going to have to spend an extra SP to move. So might as well activate her flight. All right, so I'll lose 2 SP. So I'll go from 3 to 1. Sorry, from 5 to 3. All right, so she's going to move at 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you know what? She's going to spend the extra SP to move an extra 2 spaces. Boom. And she's going to go above to be on the other side. Now the reason she did that is if Zeke, if Zeke can get there, then they'll have at least a flank attack, all right, type of thing. All right, so let's deal with this attack. So I'm only going to get to attack once, unfortunately, but I do get a reroll because of this. So she's going to use both of her remaining SP to do an attack, and can't really exhaust anything else. I did pick up this relic from the guy. Let's see what it does. Is it going to help me? I think it lets me reroll a die. Conviction is actually a white with her, which is pretty good. And after making a roll, re-roll any of your dice. So I got 2 abilities that can re-roll my dice with her. So she might be a good candidate here to roll against these water guys. All right, so I'm going to roll 2 white against them. All right, I'm trying to hit a 9. And I can re-roll these dice. So let's do it. So it's 8, but I'm going to definitely exhaust this card. Sorry, not that card. It was this card. This card, which lets me re-roll a die. So I'm going to re-roll the 3. So I just need to get a 4, and I'm going to do at least 1 damage because of that ability. Also, my damage is +1. So let's see. And I rolled a 2, so I missed again. Oh, this is going to be kind of painful. Now, if we start getting very damaged, I might just fly her to the exit. It's going to be the shortest mission ever, just to get out of here and pass. But it is what it is. I'm not going to get a good grade for this mission. Anyway, so that was Remy. So let's go to Nightingale. And she's really, really far away. I think all she's going to do is move and do a gore shot, because I don't think she can reach anything else. So she's going to move 1 SP to move. So she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, she moves at 7. Now she's close enough to do a gore shot. Is there anything else I want to do? She can spend SP to move again, but it's going to be 1 space per SP, which isn't useful right now. All right, so she's going to activate her gore shot. It's going to be distance of 4 away. 1, 2, 3, which is fine. I think she's going to target the character right over here. So our casting is a purple still. Yeah, it's still purple. I don't have any upgrades anywhere else. Now, I did forget in the previous mission that she does have an exhaust here, which gives her an empower on her spells. All right, so I think that's what I'm going to do. So let me exhaust it. Sorry about that. Oh, sorry, it's a passive, so I don't even have to exhaust it. Let me just take a look at this talisman. All right, let's get up close and personal. All right, it says when making an attack or casting a spell that targets an opponent, empower. Oh my god, this is also for melee attack. I didn't even realize. So throughout all my missions up to now, I could have been just using this to empower. When making an attack or casting a spell that targets an opponent, empower. Wow, that's pretty good. All right. So she's going to do this to try to get a total. So it's 6 plus 1, 7. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And the conviction of them is a teal and a white. They're pretty much guaranteed to get at least a 7. So I just wasted a turn again. And they got a 6. Oh my god, I actually damaged them. All right, so looking at this again. So I got 3 books here. So if you look here, so a burst would have been +1 and 2 books is +1 damage. So I got 2 books, that's +1 damage. So the gore shot by default does 2 damage. So I'm going to go all out here. So it does 2 damage. So I'm going to deal 3 damage because of the book signs. All right, 3. And I'm going to deal an extra 2 by dealing myself 2 damage. Let me go get it here. All right, so in total I just dealt it 5 damage with magic, which is pretty good. All right, maybe that's the trick. Maybe I should just have Nightingale deal all kinds of damage with magic to these guys. All right, and she's pretty much not going to do anything else. What else can she do? She can't really do anything. She's out of melee range. She could use her special ability to give everyone an SP for some odd reason, but it's kind of wasteful on her because she's going to gain 2 and then she'll be at 5, and then next turn she can't even gain an SP. So you know what, I'll wait for that for next turn. All right, so there you go. There's Nightingale's turn. Oops. And finally, let's get to Mr. Beefhead over there. Okay, so for Rook, obviously he's going to move closer. Unfortunately, he only moves at 6. So I'm going to have to spend some SP to move extra spaces. So I'll spend 1 to move, 1 to move an extra 2 spaces. So his movement is 8 now. So he's going to go... So it's essentially 4 spaces. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Basically. Or he could have gone like that for 8. But either way, that's where he's going to land. All right, so there you go. Now he's going to do an attack. He's going to spend 2 SP here to do a melee attack. He rolls 2 whites. All right, 2 whites against this lady over here. So he needs a... he can empower, but again, it's completely useless. So he needs a 9 to do a hit. Let's see what happens. And I rolled a 6. Complete miss, and he can't attack again. So he's done. All right, there you go. There's the end of the round. Let's pick up all our cards. Now I'm really hoping that the water Loa is last so that we can all go in there and deal as much damage and try to kill them before they can activate. Because if they activate now, might be a little painful. I'm not gonna lie, might be a little painful. Actually, wait, before I forget, one thing that I wanted to do was for Rook, let's use his ability here once per, sorry, his mend, so once per encounter. So let me put a used on it. And he's gonna go get his 2 heal tokens that he normally gets. Now for his 1 SP, he can use it, or he can use one of his bottles here. Maybe his energy. Let me actually read this card. I mean, he can heal 3, but you know what? He's at a lot of health. It's 14 plus 4. He's at 18. He's at 13 health still, so I think he's fine for another attack at least. All right, so let's give this a good shuffle. I'm gonna split the deck. Hopefully it's not them, and it's the first card I grab. Oh boy! So they're gonna go first. Then it's gonna be Zeke. Then it's gonna be oops. Then it's gonna be Rook. And then the ladies are gonna be at the rear. All right, so actually I forgot where she was. I'll figure that out later. So they're gonna go first. Let's take a look. All right, so this one's gonna go first. So is there a figure with an effect? No. Is there two adjacent to her? No. This one's gonna be yes, but this one's gonna be no. Is there an opponent within her sphere of influence? Obviously. So cast 6. Prioritizing an opponent with the lowest conviction value. Now, let me just check this quick. So the conviction value of Zeke is white. Is white and purple. The one for Remy is now white and purple. For Nightingale, it is 2 purple. And for Rook, it's 2 purple. So now, because Rook is before her on the initiative track, I believe he's going to attack Rook. So it's going to be the exact same thing as before. It's going to roll one white against 2 purples of Rook. All right, so let's roll the 1 white. So it's going to be 6 plus 6, so 12. Oh boy, this is going to hurt. So it's going to be 12 minus this plus 2. This is going to be a lot of damage, folks. Actually, 8. So 12 minus 8 is 4 plus 2. It's 6 more damage. So I'm going to take a 1 and a 6. There you go. So 5 and a 1. So he's at only 7 life left. Wow. Okay. So that's interesting. And again, armor does not block that magic attack. All right. So now let's go to the next guy. All right. Who's going to do something completely different. So they're going to skip the first one, go to the second one. Are there more than one opponent adjacent? Yes. All right, there's 2. It says make an attack against the opponent with the most damage. They're both at 0 damage. So it's going to be Zeke because he's before in the initiative track. With the most damage. Then place the water token on all adjacent spaces of the water loa. So we're going to add a token right over there. And then move to the farthest space possible from any opponent. So they're going to move 6 probably that way to be farthest away. All right, so before I forget, let me just place my water token in here. All right, so they're going to attack Zeke with a regular attack. So it's going to be 2 purples. They're trying to hit my defense of 10. Now I can't dodge because I'm in water. Remember, very important rule, you can't dodge in water. So they're going to go straight up 2 purples. 6 plus 6, 12. Obviously 12. So they're going to deal me some damage. So 12 minus 10 is 2 plus, let me see, each book is 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my god. And a star is healed 2. No stars, but that one never got damaged anyway. So it's going to be 4 plus 2 is going to be 6 damage against Zeke. Wow. That's pretty impressive. So that's going to be 6 damage. There you go. And now they're going to move to move 6 away. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe go over here. Yeah, probably. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that the farthest away? Yeah, you're going to be 3 away from Remy here. Also, keep in mind, they can go through the break attack. So normally that would have caused the break attack, but they're elusive, so that's not going to happen. Okay. By the way, I did forget to remove all the exhaustion tokens. Let me deal with that fast. And add 3 SP to every character. All right, and we're pretty much ready to go. So that was the Waterloo. Now let's go to Zeke, who, oh boy, who's gonna now do the attack. All right, so for Zeke, I think before he starts, he's gonna use a juice box just to heal a bit. All right, so this one lets him heal for 3. So I'm going to put this in the discard pile, and let's remove 3. So I'm going to remove a 5 and put back 2. 1, 2. Alright, so he's only taken 3 damage. Alright, so the first thing he's going to do is he's going to use a diagonal movement. So I'm going to do this. Let's move diagonally. I'm going to go right over here. Alright, next I'm going to do a movement. So I'm going to pay an SP to move. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom. Alright, and now we got a flanking attack going on. Alright, so I'm going to get +1 to all my attacks, and I'm going to be attacking twice. Alright, so next, let me do my free attack first. So let me do my Blade Works. So that's going to be 2 whites. So now I'm trying to hit an 8. Alright, because of my flanking bonus of +1. So if I can get an 8 +1, 9, I did do some damage. So I'm going to roll, and of course, my luck continues here with a 5. Alright, so now I'm going to spend my 2 SP, alright, to do another attack. Come on, baby. Come on. That is what I am talking about. There you go. 12. Alright, so technically that's a 13 because of my +1 flanking. So 13 minus 9 is going to be 4 damage, so they're at 9 damage. Alright, now this one's only got 3 life left. So what I'm going to do, just because it's driving me absolutely crazy, let me use my throwing knives. Let's just get these out of the way. Alright, roll a purple. As long as I roll a 3 or higher, which is I think a 80% chance that I get it, it's going to die. Look at that, 6. Boom. I could have done that before and I would have killed it. Alright, there you go. I killed it. It's going to die. So 6 plus 9, 14. Their life is only 12, so they're gone. Now, they're not a swarm character, so I get to draw loot for each of them. If it was a swarm, I need to kill them all. Because it's not a swarm, I get to do it. So this is what I'm going to get. I'm going to get 7 gold. All right, I've yet to pick up one of those special items, but that's fine. So I'm going to just keep my loot. Let's just put it up there in the corner. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'll put it right below. All right, so Zeke's gone. Is there anything else he wants to do? Now, he can move diagonally again using an ability here to get in melee of her. Let me debate that. Should I get into melee? Because I want everyone else to get in melee. And then she's just going to run away because she's going to use her double adjacent person next to her ability. So she's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's going to go all the way down here or move all the way down here. And I don't really want to activate this totem right away. So you know what? I'm going to leave him where he is. And that's it. All right, so that was Zeke's turn. All right, and now let's take a look at Rook. So Rook is going to move his 6. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you know what? He doesn't have to move again. He's good right over here. All right, so Rook moved. That's going to be 1 SP. Now he's going to attack. That's going to be 2 SP. 2 white dice. Don't see any other bonus. I do have knives to chuck at her if I wanted. So I'm trying to hit a 9. Oof, let's see what happens. And of course it's a 6. The highest value on these dice are 6s. It's going to be hard to hit. Alright, so I think he's done. Is there anything else he can do? You can chuck some knives at her. Sure, let's do that. Let's chuck some knives. So I'm going to get my knife card. I'm going to discard it. Let's go straight up damage here with the purple. It's going to be 5. Boom, perfect. Grab a die, give her 5 damage. Alright, so that was Rook. Pretty fast turn. He has... actually, wait. Before he terminates, he's going to use 1 SP to heal. And he's going to heal himself. So let's look at a heal token. So it says discard, spend 1 SP, which I just did. A figure within SOI heals 6. And he can heal himself because he's within his own SOI. Alright, so he's going to heal 6. So let's get rid of these 2 tokens. So he's still at 5 damage, which is quite a bit. He's down here. Alright, so let's go to Remy now. Now Remy, pretty simple. She's going to move 6. 1, 2. Actually, she moves at 7. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and she's going to be right over here. Ah, can't even fit. There you go. All right, so that was 1 SP to move, 2 SP to attack, and I think now's a good time. She has a reroll here, and she has a once per encounter reroll over here. So hopefully she can get at least a really high value on one of the die, and then I'll reroll the other one. So trying to hit a 9. Yeah, 9. And I rolled a couple of 2s. So I'm definitely going to reroll that with the ability here. So I'll reroll both of them because 2s are pretty bad. I think that's snake eyes on the white dice. Reroll again, and it's a 4 and a 2. So that did not help me at all. Even if I reroll this one, the most I can get is 10. I'll deal 1 damage. Not exciting. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do. So she's done for the turn, I guess. All right, it looks like Nightingale's gonna be the star of the show, trying to attack her with magic. All right, so Nightingale's gonna move. I gotta be in range 4 to at least do a gore shot, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. So I gotta get at least here, which is fine. So she's going to move at 7. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And the reason I'm going this way is because when she runs away, she's probably going to go this way. So I want to funnel her if there's a chance to go either that way, because that one's going to activate the totem, which I don't want. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're in range 4, which is fine. So gore shot is, like you remember, it's going to be I add a purple die to my magic to the spell, which is 6. So let me roll. So it'll be 7 plus 6, 13. I don't even think she can. Well, she can get really lucky and block it. So this should be an auto hit. Let's see. So there's going to be a white and a teal. So let's see. Can she block 13? She got a 9, so no, she does not block it, so she's going to take minimum 2 damage. Actually, I did forget to roll the black die when I did my magic. Sorry about that. I had to, let me just see. So it would have been 13 plus this die. So, 3 books on there. All right, so it would have been, let's see. I'm going to pretty much do it 5 damage exactly like I did last time. So I'm going to deal 2 damage plus 1 damage with the 2 books, plus another 2 damage by taking 2 damage to myself. All right, so it's going to be another 5 damage to the water loa. All right, so she's almost dead. Let's get rid of this. I gotta give myself 2 more damage. Where are the singles? They're over here. So Nightingale is going to be at 4 damage, which is okay. And there you go. So that's the end of the round. So let's shuffle these up. And you know what? Actually, before she does that, there's one thing I did want to do. Is let's definitely use her ability here to give everyone an SP, and she's gonna get 2. Actually, it's pointless for her, but you know what? It's good that everyone else gets an SP. So I'm gonna give everyone else an SP for next round. So we're gonna all have a minimum 4 SP. But let's shuffle these up, and let's see what happens. Let's split this in half. So hopefully the water loa goes last, so that we can get attacked 3 times or 4 times. The first one's going to be Rook, who has a chance to kill her. Next is going to be Zeke, who's going to have a chance to kill her. And after that, it's going to be the water loa. So hopefully she dies by the time. And unfortunately, the star of my show here, Nightingale, is going to go last. All right, so this is what the order is going to be. So let's take a look at Rook. All right, so basically Rook has 4 SP. He's going to attack twice. Then Rook has 4 SP. He's going to attack. Oh, actually, he has to move in. Oh, damn. Actually, he doesn't have to move in. He uses the diagonal ability here to then attack 3 times because he'll have 4 XP. So I'm going to have 5 attacks to try to do only 2 damage to the water loa before they get to activate. So hopefully I'll be able to kill them. All right, so Rook's going to go roll 2 dice. So if I can roll an 11 or a 12, it's going to kill her. All right, so that's basically what I'm trying to do. So he's going to have 2 attacks. So you know what? Let me just spend all 4. Probably not going to do it on my first shot. So let's do it. First one, 8. Missed. Second one, 8. Missed again. All right, so those were his 2 attacks. All right, Zeke. He's going to use his diagonal ability to get in here. Then he's going to spend his 4 action points with his blade works. He's gonna have 3 rolls at this. All right, so let's get to it. Let's see. 1, 7, missed. Next one, 9. Technically hit, but no damage. Next one, oh my god, it looks like I'm not gonna make it. Next one, 9. Hits, but nothing happens. Okay, it looks like all the attacks missed. It looks like I'm gonna need an arcane shot over here to finish her off, because clearly melee attacks are not working. Alright, so the Waterloo is up next. So we already know what she's gonna do. There's 3 people adjacent to her, so she's definitely gonna do the more than one adjacent. So it's gonna attack the person with the most damage. That's gonna be Rook for sure, and that's a melee attack. It's gonna be 2 against Rook, 2 purples. And what's good about that is Rook has 3 armor for melee, so that's great. Then she's gonna move. Alright, so let's do it. So roll this against 10. So 6 does absolutely no damage, doesn't even hit, doesn't get through the 10 defense of Rook, and then she's gonna move 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's gonna be 1, 2, 3 away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4 away. So she's definitely gonna go that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so that was the Waterloo's turn. Then Remy's gonna go. Pretty easy. She's gonna use her flight, so she's gonna use 2 action points to move 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Stay right here. She's gonna use 2 action points to attack. These dice are supposed to follow her, so it's obviously gonna be 2 whites. She needs an 11 or 12. Actually, she only needs a 10 because she gets a +1 to her damage. So come on, 10, 11, or 12. And it's a 2, I roll snake eyes. Wow. It's the story of my mission so far. All right, so she's done. And finally, we're going to get to the star of the show, which is Nightingale, who's going to do a gore shot. I think she's not even going to move. She's going to straight up gore shot it. All right, it's going to be my purple +6. So it's going to be 3. So that's going to be a 9. And her defense is a teal and a white. So this is going to be close. It's probably like 50-50 that the match is over or she's dead right now. And she rolled a 6. That means she's going to take at least 2 damage from the gore shot. I don't even have to spend anything extra. Actually, I was supposed to roll this to get extra damage. Actually, I won't, actually, because there's a chance that I roll a skull and I deal myself 3 damage and the attack misses. All right, a very important rule in this game. So I do not want to empower that if I just needed to do 2 damage. All right, so that's going to be the 2 damage needed to kill this character. Finally. Let me get rid of this, and that's going to give me a loot for sure because again they're not a swarm, so I'm going to get another 7 gold. Now I can remove this card and I can remove the Waterloo card off the track. And this was Nightingale's turn. Actually, she still has 5 action points, so I guess she'll move. She's over here. She's going to try to get to this totem before we exit. Maybe there's treasure there or something. So she's going to move. So her movement is 7. So it's going to be 1. I'm going to use an extra movement to move +2. Actually, I did forget to do this on gore shot. So I spent an extra 1. So she moves at 9 now. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like I'm going to have to spend some more SP. So I'm going to spend 2 more SP, so I'm gonna have to go down to 1, 2. So I spent all 4 to move, so it's gonna be 7 movement, 9 movement, 11 movement, 13 movement. All right, there, and then finally right there, and then the totem sees me. All right, so I'm gonna go read the book on what this totem does, and I'll be right back. All right, so reading the book, the totem actually spawned a loot, and it spawned 2 capsicles that are joining the fray. Now, very important, remember, every time you spawn new monsters, you add their card to the person who last activated. So that's going to be Nightingale, so they actually get to activate before reshuffling the initiative deck. All right, so because the totem actually interrupted her movement, what she's going to do is she's going to spend her last SP to actually move here. So next turn she can spend an SP to grab this loot, and we'll see what it is. All right, so there you go. That's the rest of her turn. She has no more SP. She's done. By the way, I can get rid of this totem. And there you go. So now the capsicles are going to go, and they just move like regular capsicles. So let's look at their card. You're probably used to them by now. So is there an opponent adjacent? Is there one within 4? No. Could they move and attack somebody within 4? Of course, and that's going to be definitely Zeke. All right, so they can, let's see, if they move, yeah, it's going to be Zeke for sure. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're just going to stay right here because now they're in range. So they're going to do an attack. Sphere of influence, 1, 2, 3, it's going to be yes. So they're going to roll a white and an orange against Zeke's defense of 10. And they hit 9, so they missed. And the other one's going to do the exact same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. You got range. Attack. 15. What? 15. Okay, so that's going to deal some damage. So every shield is +1. So it's 15 minus 10, which is 10. Sorry. 15 minus 10 is 5 damage, 6 damage, 7 damage, 8 damage. Look at that, I just take 8 damage from a damn capesicle. So it's going to be 8 minus 1, so it's going to be 7 damage because I do have 1 armor. And now Zeke has 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage on him. Let me return all these ones. So he's only got like 6 life left. My god, he almost died this turn. So actually, hopefully our team activates before the capesicles, because if they attack him again from there, he might die. So let's not do that. Alright, so let's shuffle this up. I think I'm gonna have to use some potions on him or something to try to heal. Hopefully Rook can go first and he can use his heal ability there. Alright, so let me cut this. Alright, so this top card is gonna go first. Who is it? Look at that, lucky me. So I'm just going to put the cards on the track here. Next is going to be Capesicle, so I'm definitely going to have to heal. After that, it's going to be Nightingale, then Remy, then finally Zeke. Alright, so Rook is up first. I think what he's going to do, obviously, is use an SP to use his heal on Zeke. So this is going to... it's going to heal him for 6, but also because of this, I actually give him an SP point. Because this is a passive ability, if I use this on somebody else, they get an SP. So he's going to heal for 6 and get an SP. So I'm going to discard this, get rid of 6 damage, and give him an SP point. So I'll take 3 and put back a 1. Alright, so there you go. That was his first. I think up next, he's just going to move twice. He's going to try to get as close as possible. So he's going to move and add +2 to his movement. So his movement's going to be 8 in total. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and he basically can't move after that anymore. Maybe he should stay in range, because if he's in range, they're attacking him for... actually, no, they can deal me a poison. You know what? I'd rather get it close. So there you go. That's that. So next is going to be the Capesicles who go. So it's going to be the red Capesicle who goes first. All right, so is there somebody adjacent? No. Now, is there an opponent within range 4? Yes. Make a 4 attack. So it's gonna be Rook for sure. Yeah, it's gonna be Rook for sure, because there's actually 2 characters within range 4, but the tiebreaker is gonna be Rook because he's first in the initiative. And then move to be adjacent to the opponent with the most damage within range. That's gonna be Rook, so he's gonna move towards Rook. And then an attack, follow-up, inflict poison, force 9. Alright, so let's deal with this in order. So if he doesn't do the top part, he's going to do the then, but he's not going to do the follow-up. Sorry, he's going to have another, so he's going to have an attack, then he's going to have another attack, and if he hits that attack, then he's going to do a follow-up. Let's do this in order, so you can still do up to 3 attacks. Alright, so the first attack is going to hit Rook. So it's going to be a orange and a white, so he needs to hit a 10. And he hits a 10. Alright, so he hits a 10. No damage just yet, but he did get a shield, so that's going to be 1 damage against Rook. So let me give him a 1 damage token. Alright, so now he's going to move to be within sorry. He's going to move to be adjacent to the person with the most damage. So Zeke has 5 damage. Actually, Rook has now 6 damage because of that attack. So he's actually going to move to be adjacent like this. There you go. Then he's going to do a follow-up attack against Rook. All right, just like it said. Then make an attack. It's gonna keep attacking rook. So let's see if he hits. So he still needs to get a 10. And he gets a 13. Oh my goodness. All right, so 13 minus 10. Actually, I have armor. I'm an idiot. So that actually wouldn't have taken damage. Whoops. Backtracking just a little bit. I forgot he's got armor. So it still hit, but it wasn't any damage before. All right, which is fine. Then he continues. Then he moves. All right, then he gets 13, which is a hit. All right, but it's 13, 14, 15, 16 technically, minus 3. So that's only going to be 3 damage because I do have my 3 armor. Let me take 3 more damage. Sorry about that. Take 3 damage. All right, then he does a follow-up. All right, then it's a follow-up. Follow-up, inflict poison and force 9. All right, so actually, I just realized something really dumb. I didn't realize that rook had a white conviction as well. So a lot of the strategy that I mentioned earlier in the video was not true because I thought his conviction was 2 purples when it's actually a purple and a white. So that would have changed a few things. Like at the beginning with the 2 water Loa, they would have both attacked Zeke instead of rook, and some of the other stuff like that, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I'm gonna get inflicted poison unless I can beat this check. So I need to check for 9. So I have a purple and a white, so I need to hit a 9 or I'm gonna get poisoned. All right, so I'm gonna roll this, and I got a 9, so that means I don't get poisoned, which is phew, thank God, because poison's pretty deadly. If you want to know what poison does, for my next turn, my status, I'm gonna basically just take purple damage. All right, which could be 2 to 7, I believe. All right, so now they're done their, oh, where did their card go? Now they're finally done their whole step and they're finished. All right, so next up is going to be Nightingale. All right, next up, Nightingale, she's going to do 1 action point to look at this chest. So spend an action point there. And basically, I read ahead. Basically, what it says is you gain 5 extra points to your grade. So I'm keeping track of my grade up to now. And I find 2 random consumables. Now, she can't hold on to them because she's full. So I'm going to put them in her stash so she can trade later on. So I'm just going to take the 2 from the bottom. And it looks like it's going to be some bomb and some great throwing knives. So that's going to be great. So I'm just going to put these on the side here for now. All right, after that, she's got 2 more SP left. She's going to use it to move and gain +2 movement. So she's going to have a total movement of 9. All right, so she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's going to stay right there. And guess what? From there, she can actually gore shot this guy over here. So 1, 2, 3, perfect distance. I can actually gore shot the other one as well. But I'd rather go for this one. So gore shot, like usual, spell that everyone loves. I'm going to roll my purple. Add 5 to it. That's going to be an auto hit. 11. Their conviction is this. So against 11, they rolled an 8, so they fail. So this is going to take 2 damage. Actually, again, I forgot to roll my black die because remember, it always gets empowered. Again, any books? Boom! I got 4 books. So that's going to be an extra 2 damage because every 2 books is an extra damage. So that's going to actually be 4 damage. And you know what? If I give myself 2 damage, it's actually going to kill this guy outright. You know what? Let me do it. I'm going to give it an extra 2 damage because of gore shot. I can deal myself 2 damage. So I'm going to just flip this over to a 3. Boom. So all my guys are quite wounded this round. And then this one's going to die. Now again, it's a swarm, so I'm not going to get the loot just yet. But at least their attacks are going to be much less potent. It's just going to be 2 whites. All right, that's it for Nightingale. Then it's going to be Remy. Can Remy even reach her? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Remy's only got 3 action points, and there's no way for her to get there and do an attack because getting there is going to cost 2 action points with her flight. So she's going to activate flight and just move 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and just get into combat there. 7. Done. All right, so she's done, and then Zeke's going to go. He's going to use his double diagonal movement. 1, 2 for 2 exhaustion cards. And then he's going to move. 1, and then he's going to attack. All right, so those were the 2 exhaustion. Let me use 1 to move, and now I'm going to use all 3 to empower that. So I'm going to roll 2 white, and I'm going to empower it. Take a chance. So I'm trying to hit, my god, it's been a while since I tried to hit these guys, an 8 with all this. And I missed. And I would have whiffed anyway. Alright, but at least it's Zeke and he can get a free attack. So it's going to be straight up 2 whites only. And look at that. That's exactly what I was looking for. Alright, so it's going to be 8 minus 12. So it's going to be 4 damage minimum. Plus, look at the symbols. 1 burst. So that's going to be 5 damage. And 2 shields, an extra 2 damage. So I think I killed it in 1 shot. Right? Yeah, 4, 5 because of the burst. 6, 7. Yeah, 7 damage. So there you go. Good job, Zeke. 1 shot killed the Capesicle. Now I'm going to get to draw loot because the swarm's completely dead. And it's going to be 9 gold. And there you go. I'm not going to bother setting up the next initiative round. They're just going to move. Well, she's just going to fly to the exit. And there you go. That's going to be the end of mission 3. Join me on the next one to continue our adventure. All right, later.